Phone addiction is the biggest epidemic plaguing actual epidemics and the sudden increase in Cybertrucks on every block. To figure out if you're a victim, answer this. When you're out with friends, do you check your email every phone addiction? Do you ever intend to check just next Wednesday? Phone addiction. Do you ever bring your phone into the bathroom and dumbass leg? Phone addiction. Do you have phone addiction? Phone addiction. The issue is that phones can task on a phone, media, watch other videos, send texts, phone calls, and tell the person who just called you to text you a normal person. Phones are super useful, but addiction is very real. Over 50% of Americans say they're addicted to 75% use the phone every time they use the toilet, which has resulted in a 100% increase in hemorrhage in my apartment. I live alone. Phone addiction is causing more and more people to feel a disconnected world, depression, exponential TikTok usage, and a sharp upward using the word skibbity. But don't worry, there are solutions. Believe it or not, there are people out there who are not their phone, which brings us to the sponsor, the Amish. Phones down, candles up, who needs the internet when you can churn butter and run a fucking beat? I'm just joking around. Please don't. The Amish. If any Amish people are watching this, I am. But also, if you're you're allowed to be. Checkmate, bitch. Alright, there are tons of methods people talk about for breaking that suck. Let's get those out of the way first. There are grayscale people who use their phones in black, and the hope is that it gets so boring they end up using their phones less. But that doesn't really, because you end up using your phone in grayscale just as much, but it's just a lot. In the 1930s and 40s, people only had black and white, and everyone was very unhappy. Okay, the war was probably a factor, but watching stuff in black and white must have also sucked. Another downside is that grayscale people also tend to be the type of white soylent meal replacement instead of actual food, work in either finance or tech, and overall have incel vibes. There are also social media cleanse people who start by telling everyone on social, and once they get that last drop, they either sneakily use Instagram so people don't think they're a hypocrite, or they actually take a break and force the topic into every conversation. Yeah, my dad's rapidly. Well, you know it's not all about physical health. Mental health is also important. Has he done a social media cleanse? I've been on a social media cleanse and he has brain cancer. Oh, is that because he was on his phone too much? Phone addiction. The issue with the social media cleanse is that once you're back, heroin feels way better after you take a break. Or at least that's what I've heard, the voice in my head. A social media cleanse is very much a band-aid hemorrhaging wound that is phone addiction. Here are some of the methods that actually work. Number 1, turn off your notifications. This is a game changer that makes everything else, because every ping and buzz is designed to grab your, and if your phone isn't, you'll just check it. You don't need to be updated the moment someone tags you. Realize you might be you can just look in the mirror for that. If I were you, I'd turn off every notification other than because pretty much everything else can wait. Your peace of mind is way more important. But also, you should totally subscribe to this channel and turn on bell because it is fun. Participate. Number 2, create guidelines. Basic rules and guidelines. If your rules are or no using my phone while in bed, you can help avoid doom scrolling first thing and increase your chances of actually feeling good. What a concept. One of my rules is that I can't use my phone when I'm hanging out with a friend. And actually haven't had to use it in a long time. So if you like it, maybe we can hang out or something. I don't know. Just let me know. I'm very good at friendship, and I'm a really fun Number 3, make it harder to. In James Clear's books, he says that a way to decrease bad behaviors is by designing your environment to make those behaviors more difficult. My tip here is to charge your phone across the room. If it's not within arm's reach, you're starting your day on Instagram is on a good day, you'll just see what a bunch of randos are, but sometimes you'll also see a kid getting absolutely curb stomped by, and that is also a good day. Kids getting hurt is an incredible Instagram support, everything there. Another method to stay off your phone is to get a physical alarm clock for $10 instead of using your phone as an alarm. That way you won't be forced to be on your phone first. If your goal is to lose weight, that would be counterproductive. And also, who the fuck does that? If you need to focus on reading, I'd recommend putting your phone under a pillow, on a shelf, or in another room. You want to basically hide your phone because usually people do response to having difficult problems. You'll train your brain to just face the task at hand and not into distraction. If I ever have a close deadline, I always find myself instinctive, which doesn't really help unless from kids getting, which always makes me feel better. being able to phasal in much more. What you can do in 50 is pretty incredible compared to a whole hour of distract multi. If you want to really check out the book Deep, he's my productivity. If everything goes according to plan, Deep Work will be the title of our next porno. Number 4, use apps to limit your screen time. The Screen Time app is built into every iPhone and shows you how much, which honestly feels like a personal attack every single time. It also has a feature that limits, which to be honest doesn't really work at all for me because I click literally every single time. Stronger external apps have been the best way I've been able to actually limit. I use Jomo's Instagram 3 p.m. no matter how high. I used to have it blocked too, but then I remembered I haven't used Facebook in 7 years. I'm not a conservative aunt from Alabama. There's also apps like Freedom, ClearSpace, and BlockSite, which all do things. They stop your auto-response phone grab and force you to take a second to be a bit more. These methods won't necessarily eliminate phone addiction in its entirety, but it puts systems in time. In the short term, you'll probably feel increasing you do, but in the long term, your entire form, because you'll train yourself to be more present, less impulsive. Smartphones can be a lot of fun on purpose as an addiction that rots your brain slowly. Quickly, with these tips, hopefully your mind gets less distracted and does what you're not just controlled by what the algorithm recommends. You don't have to be hip. You don't constantly survive or crazy posts your brain barely comprehends. You realize your attention doesn't shrink, it extends. The way to be happy, mind finally you've stopped checking your phone again. You started seeing life through a very way of